All right, so I just want to quickly just go through my process on how I read books to make sure I retain the most information possible in the long term. So what I don't know about you, but like I found that books are one of those things that school almost basically ruined for me because it was all about kind of just reading books you didn't really want to read and taking tests and writing essays and things like that. Um, and so it kind of ruined reading for me, and I didn't actually start reading properly again until a few years ago, which I think is a real shame because if you think about it, like books are basically someone's entire life experience and knowledge sort of downloaded concisely into a few hundred pages that you can digest in a week or less. So it's really powerful stuff, and so I've kind of got a bit of a process that I go through to read books. So what I'll do to summarize, I basically, first of all, I'll get a high level understanding of what the book's all about before I dig in. Then once I'm going through it, I mark sections that are relevant and that resonate with me. And then at the end, I'll do a bit of a summary just to make sure that I cement the knowledge that I take from it. So first of all, yeah, I basically just, contents is a big one. I just really go through the contents, see how the book's broken down, and just make sure that I know at a high level like what the different sections are, what the book's all about. And then what I do is, you'll find like with nonfiction books, the layout is normally, the first few paragraphs of a chapter are kind of the meat, and it's really like the summary of what the author's trying to say, and then the rest of the chapter is really just about justifying that position by giving examples and sort of trying to persuade the reader of the author's point of view. But the thing is, like if you trust the author and you know it's all legit, then really if you're super time poor, like all you actually need to read is really that first paragraph or two of a chapter to get the actual point of the book. Obviously, if you're interested, you would keep reading and sort of read through the examples and all that. But yeah, if you are especially time poor, that's actually all you really need. So you pay close attention to that, and then throughout the rest of the chapter, I'll still read it, but don't be afraid to kind of skip over things or sort of be more brief with your time on it. And I'll make sure I have a pen and I'll mark relevant sections, as I was saying before, to come back to at the end. So once I've finished the book, then I'll go back and I'll flick through to all those pages that I've marked, and I'll just reread those sections. So it might take another 10-15 minutes. And that's really just reinforcing by repetition the stuff that was actually relevant and resonated to me. And then what I've actually started doing recently is I then do like a 3 bullet point summary at the start of the book. So I'll actually, what are the 3 main key takeaways of the book? I'll actually write that on the first blank page of the book. And so that's something I can refer back to in the future. So to give you an example, like I've got my bookshelf here, and I'll show you an example from one of these books. So, like for example, we've got Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. It's a book on sales, good sales book. And what I do is, so you'll see, I've gone through the book, and then on the first page here, sorry, trying to do it one-handed, I've basically got the 3 main key takeaways that I took from the book. So in this case, out of this entire book, the 3 things that I've taken away is everyone should know how to sell even if they aren't in sales. Always agree with the customer even if they're wrong. And take 10 times more action than you think you need to create a buffer. So that's really powerful because it means that in the future I can go back to a book that I've read 6 months ago and open it up, and within a minute or two I really can refresh my memory and know what that book's all about and kind of cement the knowledge. Because in the past, like there'd be cases where I'd read a book and 6 months later, if someone asked me like, what did you learn from that book? I honestly wouldn't be able to tell that person anything. Like I'm sure there's still some stuff in the subconscious, but in terms of actually telling someone what I learned, it just wasn't there. So yeah, that's really my process for reading books and getting the most out of them long term and making sure I remember what I learned. So thanks for watching.